So during a process of evolution, so animals, they have appeared on Earth some hundreds of millions of years ago. Okay. Since then, evolution has happened. So initially unicellular organisms have evolved, then multicellular organisms have evolved, and slowly the evolution process has taken place. Okay. Sorry. Okay. And even the animals, within the animals also, there are higher animals. That means the complexity of the organization, body organization, has evolved during the process. So some of the animals have appeared, that is, they have appeared all of a sudden in between, and some animals, they have disappeared. Okay, some are perished. Like even now, if you see some extinct animals, some endangered animals, you might have heard all these terms. So they indicate that they are going to perish or they are going to disappear. And sometimes some new life may also origin due to some complexities, like due to evolution process. But the ultimate thing is, why all this evolution? So what is the purpose of this evolution? Is to exist, to survive. So based on the conditions, now if you can see, the temperatures are rising, the icebergs are melting, so like global warming. So there are various climatic issues. So based on these, again, the animals start adopting. Now if you see polar bears and other animals, they live in polar regions. Okay, poles, North Pole, South Pole. So usually there, not only their body structure, but even the genetic makeup, okay, the genes, they will have some extra genes when compared to other animals. So to protect themselves in their extreme environment. But what is happening now? The icebergs are melting. So slowly the polar regions also may get heat up. So during this process, even the organization or genetic makeup of those animals also will change in over a period of time. So this is called as evolution. So whatever the area may be, like it is whether it's a land or water or soil. So again, in the water, fresh water, marine water. So whatever it is, we have variety of animals distributed all over these regions. Now here, zoology. Zoology is nothing but study of animals. Zoo, which is related to animal. Logos means the study. The study of animals or the science that is dealing with the animals, their forms, their structures, their functions, their development, their life cycle, then evolution, adaptation, everything is nothing but the zoology. Okay, now what you are learning. So in this slowly you will learn one topic after the other. So here, why we need to study about the animals? And many people think that man is superior to animals. So they are only to for our utilization. Okay, whether it is in the form of a food or whether it is giving some product like milk or sheep are giving wool. So we are utilizing the animals, we are exploiting the animals. But actually, we are also animals, just evolved. That's it. Okay, we are part of the nature. We are nothing more than the other animals. So ecology says that. Okay, ecology means that indicates that everything, like whether it's a nature, trees, animal, everything, we are part of a nature. That's it. So we should live, coexist, but not dominate. Then only there will be balance. Okay, if we destroy everything, all the nature, then man himself can't exist. Okay, so here man's interest in animals is because he needs food, clothing, protection, and survival. Okay, so if we see the civilization from the caveman till now, and various civilizations like Babylon, Egypt, Greece, everybody has some knowledge of Greece, even before the time the science has developed. Okay, that means science in the sense a proper branch of science like zoology or whatever it is. The knowledge was existing, but later on, scientists have properly investigated the knowledge and they have given proper output. Then it was named after some like some study. Okay, so the Greeks actually they were pioneers of this zoology. Okay, like there are various scientists here, the Hippocrates, then some other scientists are there. Okay, I'm not going in depth about that. So all these, so Aristotle, he was the father of zoology. So everybody they have studied about the animals and their importance. Okay, and Aristotle, he only carried an extensive work on plants, reproduction of animals, development of chick, and animal structures, habitats, everything. What are their habits? And he wrote a book, Histoma Animalium. So that is the book. He documented everything. Then Romans also made significant contribution to different aspects of this zoology. Okay, that means even in the Greek terminology, so whatever science terminology we will be looking into, they have their origin from the Greek or Latin term, right? So after that, after scientists like Robert Hooke, William Harvey, Leeuwenhoek, so they have Schilden, Schwann, that is, they have given the cell theory, they have developed, identified microscopes. So like that, the science have evolved and slowly new aspects have come into picture. Okay, now even in the zoology, we have different branches. Okay, I'll just briefly introduce about that. No need to discuss in detail. Like morphology, that is the study of external structure. If you want to, morphology can be for plant morphology, animal morphology, human morphology. Okay, like that. So outer structure, anatomy is internal structure, like we dissect and we study. Then histology, study of tissues. Cell biology is biology of cells. Then physiology, function. So suppose if you take a lung, so what is the physiology? What is the function of the lung? So that is the physiology. Taxonomy, the classification or arrangement. Environmental biology. So how environment, so what are the aspects of environment and how they are affecting the animals, their existence. Okay. Developmental biology, like how every organism develops from a single cell called zygote. From zygote, then embryos. Okay, so embryo will be formed. So from embryo, slowly the organism develops. So during the process of forming a complete organism, so there will be lot of changes, even morphological changes. So like suppose humans and elephant, they don't look same, right? That is, although everything develops from a single cell, but what is happening there? Lot of morphological changes, lot of genetical changes, all these are happening. So these are the developmental biology. Then zoogeography, so geographical distribution, so how different continents, different regions, so they, which animals do they have and why they are existing there itself. Like Australia, you can see kangaroos. So in lions or elephants, you can see in Africa more. So why is that so? So that is about zoogeography. Then pathology, it's the study of some disease. Okay. Then parasitology, so study of parasites which live on host. Then paleontology, so it is on fossils. Then genetics, study of genes. Evolution, study of how the changes have happened in the animals, or even evolution can be in plants also throughout the ages. Progression, okay. Then osteology, study of bones. Endocrinology, hormones, and these what you call endocrine glands, okay, how the secretion of hormones. Then ethology, it is about the behavior of the animal. So in addition to this, there are protozoology and helminthology. Helminths means worms, okay, parasitic worms. Then protozoology is one-celled animal. So these are all sub branches of the zoology. So you can see similar branches even in the botany also, because in biology these are all the branches. Then now specialized, okay, specialized branches like phytonematology. Phyto means plant, okay, nematology, nematodes. Then entomology, study of insects. Ichthyology, study of fishes. So here this again they are specified to zoology because animals, okay. Herpetology, study of amphibians and reptiles. Ornithology, study of birds. Mammalogy, study of mammals. Apiculture, breeding of honeybees. Because honey, like everybody consumes, so it's the biggest market. So, how to breed the honeybees, how to rear them. Then sericulture, rearing and breeding of silkworm. Then aquaculture, then rearing and breeding of fish, prawns, oysters, okay. Vermiculture, rearing and breeding of worms, like earthworms. Then poultry, rearing and breeding of fowls. So these are more of specialized zoology branches. Okay, got it? So this is about the history, like how the zoology branch was developed and what are the sub branches. So here how methods of studies, like how we study these animals. So they can be studied in various ways. So different specimens we have to study, okay, so in the laboratory. So their specimens are usually preserved in formaldehyde or alcohol, especially for invertebrates, amphibians. And if they are microscopic animals like bacteria or so, we mount them on the slides. If they're insects, mollusks, birds, like the stuffed birds, they are in the dried form we store. Okay, then we have to preserve them. We have to identify the species. We have to classify kingdom, order, species, everything. We will study anatomically. Anatomically means the structure, even internal structure and external morphological features. And all these will be preserved. They will be documented. Okay. So some professional naturalists, they'll go into the forests and various regions. They will collect the specimens. Then they will study them. Okay. And they will document. Then microscopic, if they are bacteria also, then microscopic techniques are also there, like for staining, and high-end microscopes are there to deeply study about the cells and tissues. We'll get a variety of information. So different types of microscopes like my light microscope, fluorescence, electron microscope, confocal microscope. So many types of microscopes like transmission electron microscope, scanning electron microscope. So all these have been developed during this process. Okay. And we use all these techniques to get maximum information out of the specimens. Okay. Now, what are the major aspects of the classification? So, why we need to classify the animal kingdom? Can't we directly study that? No, because over 9 million different kinds of animals are present on the earth. So, they will have some relation between each other. So, we have to group them first because they will have some common characteristics between them. Okay, some may be still not yet identified or discovered. And based on some common properties like whether they have vertebral column or not, like they are called invertebrates if they don't have. If they have vertebrates, they are called vertebral column, they are called vertebrates. So like that, okay, arthropods, chordates, like this we have to classify them so that they will have the common characteristics. Okay. And the classification of animal kingdom is based on some principles, some rules, not just simply identify something and keeping them in some classifying them on some group. There will be some rules. Okay. Over 500 years ago, people classified the animals based on some similarities like morphology, embryology, their life history, behavior, physiology. Okay, so these are what we can see with our naked eye. So we can easily classify them based on that. But recently, because of advancement of science, there are genetics, we know genes, molecular biology, biochemistry, serology, all these sciences have developed. Now, based on the genetic similarity, although they look completely different from the external appearance, but their genes may be very close or very related. So, in such type of classification is also accepted in nowadays. So, now what is taxonomy? So, taxonomy is the study of classification using basic principles and rules. So, here, first, they have three aspects. First is identification. First, you have to identify. Then you have to classify that into some group. Then you have to give a name. So what is the classification? So how you will classify? So classification is nothing but the grouping of animals based on their relationship. So nomenclature, giving the name. So there will be some rules for giving a name for the newly identified organisms. So that rules have to be followed. Now there is a hierarchy for taxonomy. So all major groups of animals are divided and subdivided into smaller groups. So here, the first taxonomist, Linnaeus, so he has given 5 categories: class, order, genus, species, and varieties. Okay, but later it was modified. Now the classification is as such, like kingdom, subkingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species. Let us take one example here. If you take man, man belongs to Animalia kingdom. So all, as I said, all are animals. So even dog, man, frog, cockroach, everything belongs to Animalia kingdom. Then subkingdom, metazoan, man, dog, everything, cockroach, everything belongs to subkingdom metazoa. Then phylum, chordata. Then class, mammalia. Okay. So here it will change, like frogs are amphibia, cockroach are insecta. Okay. Then order, they are primates. Family, hominidae. Genus, homo. Species, sapiens. So if anybody asks what is the scientific name of a man, we usually say Homo sapiens. So Homo is the genus, sapiens is the order, and species. So Homo, always the genus name should start with a capital letter, and species name should start with a small letter, lowercase letter. Okay, that is very important rule. This is the scientific name. So kingdom is the largest unit of the classification. So here you can see, like in Animalia kingdom, there are 1 million, over 1 million species. Then in Plantae, 350,000. Fungi, 1 lakh species. Protista, 1 lakh species. Okay, Monera. So it's a very large classification, unit of classification. Then phylum. So the next most specific one is phylum. So kingdom is divided into phylum, which have very specific characteristic. Okay. Then that is in animals, especially they have chordates who have notochord. Okay. During developmental biology, we study that during the like developmental process, there will be notochords that will be developed. These notochords will become nervous system in future. Okay. So if notochord is present, they are classified into chordata, like that. Then class. The next identification is class. So here you have mammalia, those who breastfeed, like humans, cows, dolphins. Then reptilia, which are cold-blooded and scaled animals like snakes, then lizards, all this. Okay. Then order. Order, uh, organisms of same order are more similar than same class. Okay. So it is very specific. Like we have here mammalia carnivores. Okay. Carnivores means they're insect eaters. Okay. Then insectivora. So insectivora means insects. Okay. So like that. Now we have predators and prey. So it is completely divided. Then family. So it is even more specific. So here like even behaviors, feeding habits, everything will be similar. Like cat family. So cat family includes, this is Felidae, which includes whiskers, sharp claws. So like lions, cats, everything are placed under cat family. Then genus. So this is the first word of binomial nomenclature. Okay. So the term genus, or we call genera in plural. Okay, this was first given by John Ray. They are very similar to each other. They look very similar. Everything is very, very similar. Then species. It's a basic unit of taxonomic classification of animals and plants. So here, species definition was actually, it was controversial, like how to define. But a simple definition of species is group of animals which always breed true. Okay? In the sense that they never produce individuals other than their own. Okay? Like humans breed humans, right? So they won't breed some other animals. Okay, so it's very true breeding. Okay, and species have also defined by Mayer in 1942 as the population of interbreeding individuals which recognize each other as potential mates for the purpose of reproduction. So completely based on their reproductive choice and their breeding habits. So this species was, the term species was defined. Okay, so it includes all other aspects like whatever we have discussed. They look similar, their behavior, everything, and they will have some common gene pool because they are breeding within that same pool. So the genes will repeat in that uh, small group only. So they will have similar gene pool. Now, each species consists of common gene pool with a free gene flow, and each species occupies an ecological niche, and each species has a mechanism to prevent exchange of genes with other species, and each species has a capacity to give rise to new species. So even within the pool, we don't, like, although everybody has same gene pool, do all humans look similar? No, we don't exactly look similar as our parents. We might have some like familiarity, but exactly nobody, no two individuals will look similar. So that variability is because it is at the genetic level. So every two individuals, they have some variation. Okay. So binomial nomenclature was actually given like genus and species. Okay. Actually, first initially Aristotle has given, and even though Linnaeus, he has given some um, system of naming, but it was not correctly defined. Okay, but later, like now, whatever the binomial nomenclature we are following, so here two Latin names, genus and species. These two are given as a scientific name or technical name. Like as I said, Homo sapiens for human. Okay, like that for every organism. Rana tigrina. Okay, like that for every uh, organism, we have genus and species. And here are some rules. So the genus name must be noun with the nominative singular and its first name should be capital. I said. Okay, then, well, the species name should be always simple and it should start with the lowercase letter, and always the scientific name should be written in italics. Okay. So this is all about binomial nomenclature, how we name the organism. Now classification. So the present classification of animal kingdom is given by Hyman in 1940. So it has two major groups. Then the subkingdoms protozoa and metazoa. So the basic difference here is protozoa are unicellular and metazoa are multicellular. Okay. Protozoa is Protista kingdom, it belongs to. Okay. And animals, usually modern animals, like that is in the metazoa classification. So the metazoa is further divided into parazoa and eumetazoa. So all these are multicellular. So animals in the parazoa are multicellular but low level of body organization. Like you can see sponges. Okay. They belong to phylum Porifera. Okay, they are multicellular but they have very simple organization. Eumetazoa are multicellular and complexity is also more, and they are further divided into radiata, bilateria. Radiata are also called diploblastica and bilateria are called triploblastica. Okay. So those animals which are radially symmetrical, if symmetrical means if you cut them, they should have similar structure on the two halves, and their body wall consists of ectoderm and endoderm layers. So usually we'll have ectoderm, endoderm and mesoderm layers. Okay. At least if ectoderm and endoderm are there, they are called diploblastica. And animals belonging to Coeloenterata are belongs to this group. Then bilateral symmetry with three walls, three layers of the walls, they are called triploblastica. With three. Okay. So bilateria is further divided into acoelomate, pseudocoelomate, and coelomata. Acoelomata means, sorry, is my voice not audible? Is it audible now? Okay. So acoelomates have no coelom. Then pseudocoelomate means pseudo means false, and coelomata means true coelom. So like that they are further divided. So if you see this chart, okay, there will be no much explanation, but just so how you just go through once, okay, then it will be easy. Even in the exam point of view, you can just, if you get classification part, so you can directly draw this table. Not the below classification one is there, no? Animal kingdom is divided into protozoa, metazoa. Metazoa is again divided into parazoa, eumetazoa. Eumetazoa is divided into radiata, diploblastica, and bilateria, triploblastica. And this bilateria is again divided into acoelomata, pseudocoelomata, and coelomata. So in this you can give some examples, like phylum examples are given, no? So like that you can give. Okay, that will be easy to understand. Like basic. Okay, just a second. Give. Is my voice clear? Okay. So let me continue. So like that, if you can draw this table, that is fine. Okay, that is enough. Okay, so this is the end of this topic. So do you have any doubts? Okay, if you don't have any doubts, we'll continue in the next class. Please go through the text once. Just give one reading. So whatever the like, you can simply write in your own words. No need to like as this. So there will be a lot of text in the textbook. So no need to take all the points. Just take the important points. So as I explained you, just take one example. If you are comfortable with the Homo sapiens, humans, you can take anything which you remember perfectly and you can go through that. And if you
Okay.
have any pictures, like diagrams, try to remember. So try to represent the matter in the form of either tables or flow charts or pictorial representation. So that will be easy for the examiner as well as for you to remember rather than text. Got it?
Okay.
Even
Yes.
text, you mention the point of like points, point wise. Simple. Okay? Don't make it more complicated.
Okay.
Fine? Okay. So we'll continue in the
Yes.
next class. Okay? Thank you so much. If you have any doubts, you can ask me in the next class. Okay then. Thank you.